what an amazingly clever little animation film about the origins of the David. And I love the animation of the hook-nosed villain and the sad little marble seller with the long mustache and their relationship. The sound design is brilliant in this film with the hammering and the chiseling and the cracking of the marble, and the expressions on the townsfolk. I really enjoyed their faces as they watched the grand unveiling. It is a brilliant little film with a clever twist at the end. Great job.
Might be the coolest origin story that I've seen in some time. It's a great use of unknown or rather lesser known history, because this is history that was obviously accessible to someone in order to create this, but it's not as widely known and understood as is evident by my surprise as someone who has seen the Statue of David. I certainly didn't know the origins of it in this way. So it is great to utilize that kind of underappreciated history in order to tell it in such a creative and emotionally resonating way. It's really, really well done.
I thought it was a really smart telling of this simple story. I like the choices too, the paper cut, maybe grease pencil style of animation. Then doing that in monochrome, which was creating the setting of the past, thousands of years ago. Then you fast forward to the future and it's colorized. I just thought that was all really satisfying to watch, and definitely worth checking out.
Really pleasing paper feeling to it, but then it was also the color scheme of clay, so it was really interesting visually. It was a really warm short overall. I actually liked that there were no words in use for this one. Every emotion was then described to me by the clink of stone, the shuffling of anxious footsteps, the refund of coins, the sigh of discontent. The score was really melancholy in parts, especially when the old man was facing rejection, and the doorway was closed to the stone as well in particular. In the end, all it took was another artist to see the potential of the stone, flip it upside down, and cue the lights, cue the music, and cue the majesty.
I really like this style of animation too, because I feel like I've never seen it before. It was very unique, and it fit this story very well. And it shows how there was such a deep meaning behind this story. It shows how something that might not have value when you first see it can later, be of so much value. So I feel like the ending was very satisfying because of that, and we're kind of rooting for the same character the entire time because of how mistreated he was in the earlier part of the film. So yeah, the ending was very satisfying, and I really enjoyed this film.
Great animation. Really liked the simplicity but yet complexity in the drawings. Thought it was a lovely story of redemption, and enjoyed the definition of time, and with the additive color you could see how much time had elapsed, and just thought it was simple but detailed. So much detail in the characters, so you could really get a sense of their personalities that came through on this, and really enjoyed this piece.
I think it's a really cool way to explore the idea of thinking outside of the box and innovation, and how that can innovation can stand the test of time by just looking at something from a different perspective. And I thought there was overall a really great, complete story that was told beautifully, visually speaking.
This one had the best music. I really enjoyed it. This was my favorite. I think it pairs excellently with the theme and the epoch, or the time frame of the movie, and the story is quite engaging, and I really loved how it transitions into this masterpiece and the relevance of this particular block of stone and what it turned into. It was a really enjoyable story.